What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're breaking down the most insane snowstorm in US history. The Epic Snowstorm of 2026 just blanketed the country with record-shattering totals. I've spent the last 48 hours compiling every single snow total, and I'm about to show you exactly how much snow your town got, down to the zip code. We're traveling coast to coast, revealing the wildest numbers and the most unexpected snowfalls. Drop your zip code and your guess in the comments. Let's see who gets closest before we reveal the official numbers. Don't skip ahead. Let's dive in. First up, the Northeast. You guys got absolutely buried. This wasn't just your average winter storm. This was a once-in-a-generation blizzard that transformed entire cities into frozen ghost towns overnight. Streets that are usually packed with cars and people were suddenly silent, blanketed in a thick, unbroken layer of snow. New York City, zip code 136, clocked in at a staggering 38 inches. Times Square was a ghost town, subways frozen, airports closed. The city that never sleeps was forced to hit pause, with iconic landmarks nearly unrecognizable under all that snow. Flights were grounded, and for the first time in years, the hustle and bustle of the Big Apple came to a complete standstill. Boston, zip code 02108, hit 45 inches, nearly 4 feet. People were skiing down city streets, turning what's usually a busy urban landscape into a winter playground. Historic landmarks like the Boston Common and Beacon Hill were buried, and locals had to dig tunnels just to get out of their homes. Burlington, Vermont, zip code 05401, reported 55 inches. That's almost 5 feet. Snow higher than most cars. Entire neighborhoods disappeared under the drifts, and residents woke up to find their cars and front doors completely blocked by towering walls of snow. The entire region, from Pennsylvania to Maine, was pummeled. Smaller towns saw drifts blocking doorways, and emergency services stretched thin. Ambulances and fire trucks struggled to get through, and some communities were completely cut off for days, relying on neighbors and volunteers to help dig out. Albany, New York, broke its all-time single-storm record. Portland, Maine saw snowfall rates over 4 inches per hour. The snow just kept coming, hour after hour, with no sign of letting up. Meteorologists were stunned by the intensity and duration of the storm, calling it one of the most extreme events they'd ever tracked. Roofs collapsed, power outages hit millions, and the region was at a standstill. Schools and businesses shut down, and families huddled together for warmth as utility crews worked around the clock to restore power. The weight of the snow caused major damage to homes and infrastructure, leaving many to wonder how long it would take to recover. This was a true natural disaster, one of the most historic storms in over a century. For many, it brought back memories of legendary blizzards from the past, but this one set new records and left a mark that won't soon be forgotten. The sheer scale of the snowfall was something out of a movie, and it will be talked about for generations. If you're from the Northeast, comment your experience and your zip code. Did you get more or less than these totals? Share your stories. Did you have to dig out your car, help a neighbor, or maybe even build a snow fort taller than yourself? We want to hear how you survived this epic storm. The records just kept falling, and the storm was relentless for 48 hours straight. It felt like the snow would never stop, with flakes piling up faster than anyone could shovel. For 2 days, the Northeast was at the mercy of Mother Nature, and the world watched in awe as the region disappeared beneath a sea of white. It's a testament to the power of nature, and we're just getting started. The resilience of the people who live here is incredible, but even the toughest New Englanders were put to the test. This storm will go down in history as one of the most intense weather events the Northeast has ever faced. Next, we're heading to the Midwest, where things got just as wild, if not wilder. Stay tuned to see how the Heartland handled this record-breaking winter onslaught. The Midwest, there was simply no escape from this monster storm. As the blizzard swept in, it transformed the Heartland into a frozen, snowbound landscape that looked more like the Arctic than America's breadbasket. Cities and small towns alike were swallowed by relentless snowfall, and the entire region braced for a winter event that would go down in history. In Chicago, zip code 60611, the city was hammered with a staggering 32 inches of snow. Iconic spots like Millennium Park and the Bean vanished beneath thick drifts. Lakeshore Drive, usually buzzing with traffic, was completely shut down for 2 days. Drivers stranded, streets deserted, and a total whiteout that made the city unrecognizable. Detroit, zip code 48226, wasn't spared either. The city was slammed with 29 inches of heavy, wet snow. Trees snapped under the weight, power lines came crashing down, and cars disappeared beneath icy mounds. Neighborhoods lost power for days, and emergency crews worked around the clock to clear roads and restore electricity. But Minneapolis, zip code 55401, took the crown. The city was buried under an astonishing 40 inches of snow. Streets were impassable, and the only way to get around downtown was through the city's famous skyway system. Elevated walkways connecting buildings, offering a lifeline above the frozen chaos below. Residents hunkered down, and the city came to a standstill. In rural areas, the situation was even more extreme. Parts of Wisconsin and Michigan's Upper Peninsula reported over 50 inches of snow, enough to bury houses and cut off entire communities from the outside world. Snowmobiles became the only way to reach neighbors, and some towns were isolated for days, waiting for plows to dig them out. The Great Lakes played a huge role, fueling the storm with moisture and turning it into a historic blizzard. Cities like Cleveland and Buffalo were hammered by lake-effect snow, with waves crashing onto icy shores and neighborhoods buried under feet of powder. It was a perfect storm, frigid air barreling down from Canada, colliding with warm, moist air from the Gulf and the Great Lakes. When these forces met over the Midwest, the result was a blizzard of epic proportions, one that tested the limits of even the hardiest Midwesterners. From Nebraska to Michigan, no one was spared. Every city, every small town, every rural road was blanketed in snow. People woke up to find their cars buried, their streets impassable, and their daily routines completely upended by the sheer force of nature. If you're from the Midwest, we want to hear from you. Drop your zip code and your snow total in the comments. Let's see who got buried the most and share your wildest blizzard stories. This was a storm for the record books, and everyone has a tale to tell. Now for the South. Yes, the South. A region famous for its warm weather, sweet tea, and sunshine, suddenly found itself in the middle of a winter wonderland. People woke up, rubbed their eyes, and couldn't believe what they were seeing outside their windows. Snowflakes were falling, blanketing everything in sight, and turning familiar streets into scenes straight out of a holiday movie. The storm dipped deep, bringing snow to places that almost never see it. Palm trees dusted with snow, cotton fields turned white for a whole new reason, and neighborhoods that usually only see frost maybe once a year were suddenly covered in inches of powder. Atlanta, zip code 3303, got 8 inches. That's not just a dusting. That's enough to turn the city into a winter playground, or, for some, a winter nightmare. For Atlanta, that's total chaos. Cars sliding everywhere, cities shut down. Highways became parking lots, and people abandoned their cars to walk home in the snow, snapping photos and calling friends in disbelief. Birmingham, Alabama, saw 6 inches. That's more snow than most folks there have seen in their entire lives. The city was transformed overnight, with rooftops and roads hidden under a thick white blanket. Kids who'd never seen snow before were out building muddy snowmen, using whatever they could find: sticks, leaves, even bottle caps for eyes. Laughter echoed through neighborhoods as families bundled up and made the most of this rare event. Nashville, Tennessee, got rocked with 14 inches, more than a foot. That's the kind of snow you'd expect in the Rockies, not in Music City. Broadway was empty. Hills turned into sledding runs. People grabbed anything that would slide. Trash can lids, laundry baskets, even cookie sheets, and turned the city's slopes into makeshift ski resorts. Even Jackson, Mississippi, and parts of Louisiana saw flurries. For many, it was the first time in their lives they'd seen snow falling from the sky, and social media lit up with photos and videos of the rare event. This storm dragged Arctic air deep into the South, creating a snow day people will remember for years. Schools closed, businesses shut down, and families came together to enjoy the magic, some for the very first time. If you're from the South, comment your zip code and your snow day story. Did you build a snowman or try sledding on a trash can lid? Maybe you just stood outside, mouth open, catching snowflakes for the first time. We want to hear how you made the most of this wild weather. This wasn't about record depth, but about the shock of seeing real snow where it just doesn't belong. For a few magical days, the South was transformed, and memories were made that will last a lifetime. Out west, the mountains got absolutely hammered with powder. Denver, zip code 80202, got 25 inches, enough to shut down the city. But up in the Rockies, ski resorts like Vail and Breckenridge saw over 70 inches, almost 6 feet. Utah's Wasatch Mountains, including Alta and Snowbird, reported up to 90 inches, over 7 feet. Salt Lake City, zip code 84101, got 30 inches in the valley. The Sierra Nevada around Lake Tahoe saw over 100 inches at some resorts, more than 8 feet, burying homes and closing highways. This storm was a huge boost for the West's water supply, but also brought avalanche danger and travel chaos. Out west, snow is measured in feet, not inches, a reminder of how powerful these storms can be. If you're in the mountains, comment your zip code and your craziest snow story. Time for the main event, the most buried zip codes in America. Number 3, Soda Springs, California, zip code 96145, 112 inches. That's over 9 feet. Number 2, Redfield, New York, zip code 13156, 124 inches. More than 10 feet, thanks to relentless lake effect snow. And number 1, Mount Baker, Washington, zip code 98284, 145 inches. That's over 12 feet from a single storm. These places were literally buried. Second stories became ground floors, cars vanished, and life ground to a halt. The sheer weight and volume of snow in these spots is hard to imagine. From California to New York to Washington, these are the communities that felt the full force of the storm. Now, let's find out how much snow your zip code got. Coming up next. Ready to see your official snow total? I built an interactive map. Links in the description. Click it, type your zip code, and see your number instantly. The map zooms in, drops a pin, and shows your verified total from the Epic Snowstorm of 2026. Pause the video, check your number, then come back and comment. My zip code is your zip code, and my official total was your total. Compare with friends and family. See who got the most, who got the least, and who was most surprised. This tool lets you see the true scale of the storm right in your own neighborhood. Explore, have fun, and get ready for some wild snow facts next. Before we wrap up, here are some wild snow facts you probably didn't know. Not all snowflakes are unique. Scientists have found identical ones, though it's super rare. The water content in snow varies. Rocky Mountain powder can be 20 inches snow, Horseshoe 1-inch water, while Midwest snow is much heavier. This single storm dropped trillions of gallons of water, more than the Mississippi River in a month. Fresh snow absorbs sound, making the world eerily quiet after a blizzard. The largest snowflake ever recorded was reportedly 15 inches wide. Snow isn't just weather, it's a massive, beautiful scientific phenomenon. Hope you learned something new. Let's head to the outro. That's a wrap on the Epic Snowstorm of 2026. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button and subscribe for more wild weather breakdowns. Comment your zip code and official total below. I want to see our community's snow map. The interactive map is linked in the description. Explore and share with friends. Thanks for watching. You're all legends. See you in the next video.